to see the other guy. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys how to make bruises just using any like simple shadows you might have laying around and whatnot. I know most other tutorials have cream-based products or makeup. I'm just going to show you guys how to do it with shadows. Maybe you need a last-minute Halloween costume. Maybe you need sympathy and want to look like you just got beaten in the shit out of. I don't know. It's all on you guys, but I don't judge. Anyway, so let's get started. First things first, I'm going to have a reference photo of the makeup I will be doing. I'd say this is a pretty good reference photo. Don't think you guys can see that. Have something handy, just so you know what you're doing. First things first, we're going to start with the eyes because I feel like that's the one that most people will most likely try to punch first, are the eyes, but I don't know, that's just me. That's just what I think. And the first shadow I'm going to grab right here, I'm going to grab from my Jaclyn Hill Favorites palette, which is weird because I use this palette all the time for like my special effects stuff. As weird as that sounds. I use it for beauty too, but mainly special effects. And the first shadow I'm going to be dipping in with is this shadow right here. And again, this is the Jaclyn Hill Favorites palette by Morphe Brushes. And where I'm going to start out placing it first, I'm just going to place it close to the inner corner and drag downwards. And also blending upwards. Another trick you could do that I usually do when I'm trying to make myself look like I got beaten the shit out of, I will rub my eye and it'll just make my eye look super irritated and annoyed. You guys don't have to do that, that's just what I do. Alright, and then with that shadow, you're also going to be blending it with your fingers. And you're just going to keep adding as you go along. And blending. Blending it downwards, making sure that there are no harsh lines. That's the most important thing, is to blend out any of those harsh lines that appear. It'll make it look more like you're just super irritated, and right here, that's always where it gets the darkest. And still have your reference photo handy in case you need to know which areas to make purple or blue or yellow. And then I'm also going to do the same thing on the end of my nose to make it look like someone also punched me there as well. All on the end here. And then just blend that out. And as you can see, it's already starting to like look naturally like it's irritated. I'm also going to add some more on the outer area. Don't do it too much because you want to leave room for the other shadows, like the yellow all together, to blend it all together nicely. So that way the yellow will actually like show through. I'm also going to do it on my lip as well. And we don't want to keep everything on the same side. You want to make it look like you were in a pretty good fist fight, so. And then blending downward again. And you want to make it the darkest right here. Or anywhere on the lip that you want to make it look like you got beaten up. And it doesn't matter because we're going to wind up covering this up with scab blood anyway. And then just blending that downwards. Making sure that there are no harsh lines anywhere. The next shadow we're going to be going in with is going to be this even darker shadow right here. Same thing from the Jaclyn Hill Favorites palette again. And we're just going to put it in those same areas and just make them a little bit darker. And then again, same thing, blending. On the sides of my cheek just to make it look like they hit there, but they didn't exactly like get a good area, you know. Didn't hurt me as bad. The next shadows we're going to be going in with are also going to be from Morphe again. It's going to be from the 12P Picasso palette, I believe it's called. And then we're just going to be taking now this yellow shadow right here, and we're going to be putting that in the middle of everything. Just to make it look kind of nasty, like you really got hit, like really bad. Adding some more to my nose because I feel like I didn't put enough of the darkness in there, you know? And then just keep looking at your reference photo and keep going in those same areas over and over again. I'm going to add a little bit of green now from the Picasso palette. I'm going to be adding in this green color right here. And just very lightly because this palette is super pigmented. Just certain areas of green. A little bit on the lip as well. Mainly some yellow. Because I've noticed when people get hit, this area will turn more of like a yellowish green. I'm actually going to add a little bit more of this color and then this color on top on the under eye area just to make it look a little bit worse. Just going to draw it around because in the reference photo it is super dark in this area. but also leave some room in for that yellow. Don't completely cover it up. This is definitely where you get the darkest when you get hit. A little bit on the lid, and then again, just keep blending it out with your finger. Keep adding it in as dark as you want it, as nasty as you want it to look, the darker the better. And then just keep going back and forth with those shadows. Now we're gonna go with the fun stuff. We're gonna be using Ben Nye Scab Blood, which is the most perfect stuff in the entire universe. Clearly I've used most of it up now at this point. I love this stuff. I just love it so much. I think it just adds to the look, you know? It just sells everything perfectly. And then you can apply the Scab Blood however you want. I'm just gonna do it with a palette knife. And then the first place I'm gonna put it is gonna be the lip, because typically when you get hit in the lip, you bleed pretty bad, especially if it was a good punch. And we wanna make it look like we want, obviously, but we still wanna make it look like it hurt like a mofo, so. And then we also wanna make it look like our nose is bleeding. We can also add some more bruising on the side of our face, just to really like sell the look, you know? I feel like where it would get the darkest is right here. And again, I got another reference photo. Just make sure you blend it into your hairline, just to really sell the illusion that you got hit pretty bad. And then again, you're gonna be following the same steps and just blending that out with your finger. I feel like blending out with your finger works really well personally. And then taking that dark shadow from the Jaclyn Hill Favorites palette, again, we're gonna be putting this on the outside of that into the hairline more. And then again, just blending that outwards. And pretty much just continue this process anywhere that you wanna look like you got bruised. Make sure you're looking at a reference photo, because you wanna know what certain areas look like when they got bruised. Anywhere like around the punch too. And then blend that all out. And don't keep like one area too dark. I'm obviously just gonna blend this all out here. And then we're gonna wind up covering it with Scab Blood also. And then taking the Scab Blood, we're just gonna make it look like we basically just have cuts here. Alright you guys, and this completes the final look. I just went ahead and made my hair like super crazy, looking like I just got out of a vicious cat fight. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and thanks again for watching. Bye guys.